What's up, everybody? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yeah, if it's looking grainy, let me know. Uh, that's the way it's feeling and looking in one of my screens. I appreciate you guys for being here. Welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. I am your host, A.D. Walker, the pusher, the grower, the motivator. Today we're talking about, this week anyway, I will be talking about the process of growth in specific areas. And today we're talking about relationships and growth in our relationships, not just marital, but just dealing friendship wise and things of that nature, and how we, especially myself, have learned certain things in the process. All right, looking beautiful, looking beautiful. All right, so make sure you sharing. Sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. Let everybody know that the brothers are in the building, and I appreciate you guys for being here. I got my brother Kaneem hanging in the wing, so we're gonna go ahead and kick this off. Listen, it's Monday, and happy Monday as always. And no, listen, I need you to share. I need you to tag, let everybody know that the brothers are on. I need you to share that text message that you got if you're part of our text community. Text LWN to 84576. Text LWN to 84576. All right. And tonight at 8:30, 8 o'clock, will be Purpose for Forever, my wife and myself, and we'll be talking about something about relationships. All right, so make sure you are staying connected. Text LWN to 84576. Never miss a broadcast. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and kick this week off. Let's go. I want to welcome you to the Brothers of Legacy broadcast, where we are changing our community one conversation at a time, every day.
We are creating a new legacy.
Change gon' come, change gon' come, change gon' come, change gon' come, change gon' come.
A co-op has to start with ownership. We have a mindset of either I want to make a lot of money or survive. Make a bunch of money or I got to figure out how to survive.
When you have a real bond, when everyone has, we come in with real expectations. Because this is this is covenant.
The whole point is this, that we as a people, with our money and time, aren't often making this journey possible, often vested in the business.
You're watching the Brothers of Legacy. We don't stand out. We stand up.
All right, what's up, Kaneem? Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, brother. You frozen. I wasn't sure if you was talking or not.
All right.
Well, your internet is
Yeah, you know what's so funny? It's grainy behind, but it's clear online.
Really?
Yeah, I got my producer / my wife showing me on Facebook, so I'm chilling. I'm good. I mean, I know it looks bad here because that's what I was hoping, but it looks fine on there, so I'm good. We're good. So don't try to ignore it.
You want me to have some real effort you want me to put in on that. I mean, like you stop, like literally you just,
Right.
I hear your voice and you just like, man.
Right. Hey, listen, as long as you can hear my voice, that's all that matters.
All
Right, cool. So we have Pastor coming in the wings, all the
There
way
you
from
Good morning. Happy Monday.
Henry
All
County.
right, I feel that, brother.
I'm doing great, man. How you doing this morning, brother?
Oh man, I'm all right, man. I'm
Thank
all
you.
right.
Good.
Blessings, Lisa. Good morning. Good morning. Blessings. Thank you for sharing. Greetings, Mama McCory. Thank you for rocking with us, indeed. And oh yeah, talk to.
Talk to
Kathy
me
is
Monday.
getting our themes going. Talk to me
All right,
Monday.
okay, that might be something you can
Right.
incorporate, brother.
Talk to me Monday. There we go. Let's go. So today we're talking about how we shifted our mindsets when it comes to relationships. Talk to me Monday. All right. So everybody on at this moment, and as we discussed, probably like a half hour in. I know Kaneem, his schedule is a little shifted, so he may have to abruptly leave. But we're
Yeah.
going to attempt those that are on. I'm going to attempt a call in today, so it's going to be out there. So if at some point I'm going to open it up, give you an opportunity if you want to share with us, in the midst of our conversation, as long as you're on point within the topic and within a reasonable restraint of time, 30 seconds to a minute, just to share your thought. Because sometimes, you want to share and you're going to write a book. It's easier to just say it. So we're going to put that link out there probably about a half hour in and just see how it goes. It'll be our first time trying that. All right. So, like I said, today we're talking about, and my podcast people appreciate you guys for being here as well, how we've shifted our mindsets when it comes to relationships. Now, in the span of relationships, not just like in the marital relationships, but in the way, at least for myself, interacting with getting friends, acquaintances, associates, and things of that nature. How my mindset has kind of shifted, and I felt grown. Like I spoke about before, I was one of the leading members of the cutoff ministry. So, it didn't take much. It didn't take much. It go a little south. And my cutoffs weren't like I wouldn't talk to you. I wouldn't respond as much, or I wouldn't go somewhere. Like I was never like mean, because that's just not really in my nature. But I would just not deal. Like if issues happen, like we have an issue, I'm done. Like whatever it was, like I'm just not dealing, because I guess in my mind it should be, and back then it should be good. Not thinking about when you were younger. You'd always argue with your friends. You always get into some kind of fight. Some of our best friends have come out of fights. We had, scuffles, and you develop a relationship. But so in my growing, getting to a place where I was less likely to cut you off, just to let's figure out what the issue is and find a way to move forward, or not let little things get in the way of what could be a great relationship, friend wise. So that, I think, for myself, that's been one of my biggest hurdles when it comes to relationships, being able to maintain. And then sometimes I was a person that kind of disappeared, and it's funny seeing it from an other side. Like I would just, we'd be cool and life would shift and change and I meet a challenge and I kind of stop connecting. I was like, in my mind, like, who cares? Nobody really cares about what I'm going through. like, like I gotta figure this out on my own. What up, Richard? He said, "Three brothers, hello on this Monday." Yes, indeed. So you guys, where have your struggles been when it comes to relationships, friendships wise? What's up, Peter? Good morning. And what were some of your struggles, and how did you overcome some of those struggles?
I didn't think you was gonna start off like that, brother. I did not expect that there. Let me go ahead and put that out there.
So
I am my circle is small, and it is probably small to a fault.
all right,
It should probably be bigger,
right,
but I am not a very assertive communicator,
okay, okay,
right? I'll talk to anybody anytime,
right,
if they call me.
Right. Right.
I'm there.
Right.
But I don't. If I'm not looking for something in particular, it's challenging. I have to program myself to make calls, to reach out, to touch
Okay.
base. So if you hear from me, you real special. But I think so we're talking about relationship, and I recognize why I have the circle or the connections that I have. I understand that because I understand where I am and who I am as a person, and I understand how I got here. You know, some of my challenges because I used to do a bunch of cold calling early in life in sales, right? And I spent a lot of time in sales and sales support. So I was always on the phones calling people. I've done the communication tree in church after church after church, all of that stuff. I've done it for so many years. And I got to the point to where I just like, I'm over calling people, just over it. Not that I don't want to talk to people, just the act of initiating the call. I just kind of got burned out.
Right.
I'll greet you. I'll talk to you. I'll make myself, I'll let you know I'm here.
Right.
If you need me. But if you haven't called, I assume you don't need anything or you don't want to talk. But I don't hold a grudge against anybody for not communicating. So that's so the foundation. I'm saying that for people, like there might be somebody listening that's like, man, I ain't heard from Pastor McCrory in a long time. He must be mad. They might by chance be hearing this. And they'll know, oh, he ain't mad. This is just who he is. You know. So behind that, I'm careful where I plant seed. I don't want to plant my seed in infertile ground. You know, I'm over, you know, relationships with people for the sake of relationship. You know, if I can't help you grow, if you can't help me grow, I don't want to tread water with you.
I got you. I got it. I mean, I hear you on that point. You know, like I think to me, I guess it's figuring out that spot. You know, can you still have somebody you cool with that is your laugh trip out partner? Yeah. What is that? He said, what does that even mean?
What does what even mean?
I guess as far as having just a partner that you may not be growing a lot together, but I guess the treading water. What do you mean? Like, how would you define like someone stuck in the space where you're treading water?
It's hard to find a relationship like that. I'm just saying I know it when I see it.
Okay.
What am I saying? I'm saying, you ever been on the phone with somebody and there's just silence because nobody has anything to say, but you won't get off the phone?
Okay.
Oh yeah, man. Me and my wife did that all the time. We fall asleep. Oh yeah.
No, that's different. That's different.
No.
That's different. You were on there because you had a goal.
Right.
I'm gonna hang on because since we ain't in the bed together, you know, I'm gonna stay as close as I can stay, even if we ain't saying nothing. That's still profitable for me.
Oh yeah, I used to enjoy hearing her breathe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's profitable. That's not treading water, bro.
No, that's different. I agree with Pastor on that one.
Like, you ever been in a conversation with somebody and you're like, I don't know why I'm still standing here?
Oh no, I will say this.
Yeah.
I have been there, but I always cut that short.
That's my point. Okay, so you know it when you see it. When you feel like you're treading water, depart. That's what I'm saying.
I'm trying to think. I will say, like, I don't know any, like, okay, so I've had those moments, and like there've been friends that are probably more connected than Pastor Brian. I guess I ain't special enough. My Pastor Brian call you.
What's your email address? He'll send your email.
Right. That's an international phone call.
There you go.
I don't have roaming. I don't have the international call package.
But
Google Meet.
Okay, so like I've had people that were closer to my wife, and me and them were kind of like connected because of her, right? So we don't really, our depth is not like, we're cool, but we don't really have a whole lot. So in those situations, like, yeah, we kind of chatted up on surface, and then when it's done, I kind of like scoot away. Um, but I don't think I've ever had a relationship, not that I can think of. Maybe during the course of this broadcast, I can come up with it, like that was deep. Like we were cool, like me and Kenny were cool, and then all of a sudden it just turned real surface level. Like we could talk about a few things, then we run out of stuff to talk about. Um, yeah, I don't know anybody that was deep, and then now it's like, I can, I'm a head out over on that side of the room. Like I don't know of any relationship that has turned into that per se. Um, I don't like.
You said that has turned into that.
Yeah, because like you said, you don't have a relationship where you're just treading water. Like I don't have anybody that I currently, like I said, the only time that may have surface talk is someone that's more connected to Sam than they are to me, and we kind of like chatted up a little bit, but not that somebody, because you were saying like somebody that you don't have time for someone to be around somebody that you feel like you're treading water, right? Have
I'm
a
talking
relationship,
about someone
relationship
who
sense.
has nothing. I'm talking about someone who I didn't mean to cut you off. I apologize, brother.
No, you good.
If you're not moving forward, if you just
Right.
there,
Talking in circles kind of thing.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
There's
Right.
no forward progression
Right.
in what we're talking about or in our relation. There's a difference between being hanging out in a conversation too long and treading water in a conversation. Like, you know what? Let me
Right.
go. We ain't got nothing else to talk about. I'll hit you. I'll hit you up next week.
Right. 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 We
Right.
we done ran out of stuff. Gotcha.
Versus there's no gain here. We're not doing anything. So, and my point is, it's hard to find that because typically you've already moved,
Right. 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 Right.
and that's what I mean. I'm not going to tread water in a relationship. I mean,
Right.
those
I
they
got you.
kind of dissolve. They just kind of go, and it's not that you become an enemy. You check
No.
back in, and there's no love lost or anything like that. Yes,
Right.
thank you, Dr. Rollins. Oh, no, I don't know if Kaneem saw that.
I'm not
Uh,
allowed to do those
Really.
things to me.
So yes, seasons change. At one time, there was a lot
Yeah,
of talk about because
it's
we
it's
work
back to the
together on
three
something. Right.
C's, right? Constituent, confidant, and
Yeah.
comrade. Know where people
Yeah.
are, know what season you're in, and be
Yeah.
okay with that. Because if your season is up, it becomes a relationship based on treading water,
Mm.
and it could turn sour if you don't know the shift. If you ignore the shift, that's all I'm saying.
Interesting.
I've got
I got you.
people that I got a phone call from someone the other day, and we talked on the phone for almost 45 minutes, but we hadn't talked in 6 months.
Okay. Okay.
We caught up. We're still friends.
Right.
We used to hang out all the time, but we don't do that.
Wow.
We're just not there anymore. So we touch base every now and then,
Got you.
you know,
I got you.
and everything is cool. And then we get in, and when the conversation is over, hey man, let me head up over here. I gotta go make this run. I gotta find any reason to get off the phone, right?
I gotta go to the bathroom. I gotta go to the bathroom. He
Yeah,
said, all right.
and so
Ross
that's
said,
the case, and that's what I mean by
right.
treading water. It's a broad statement, and I
Right.
apologize for such a
I,
broad statement,
I get it.
Samantha.
He said if we didn't develop a personal connection or relationship beyond the work, then welp, I got you. I mean,
Yeah,
that happens a lot, when you're at work.
Oh
Because sometimes
yeah.
you thinking you felt like you felt like something was cool, but then you realize, this is based on work. I come in, we close and trip out because we stuck in this box for 8 hours. we found common bonds somewhere. Um,
Oh yeah.
I think even happens in ministry. You go in the same church, you kind of develop a relationship, and then if you leave, you don't really talk as much. You may not chat as much because we're not in the same work anymore.
right.
So I do agree on that point that relationships do shift. Those kind of relationships do shift and they change. Um, and and when you broke it down, I was like, it makes sense because I've had a few of those. I've left plenty of jobs like I'm gonna call you. we gonna keep up. I'll catch up with you, and then you realize why? Why am I calling? Well, like we don't have the depths. He said you don't talk because you didn't have a relationship. Woo! No connection. Okay.
I had a
Okay.
brother tell me just yesterday. He's like, Pastor, man, every time I talk to you, you know, it, we can go real deep, real fast. And I know I've been saying we're gonna connect outside of church, and we just haven't connected, And somebody else
Oh man.
heard him say that to me. He said, yeah, man, Pastor be running. And I'm like, I ain't running that hard, you know. And this is what he said. He said, we're the type of brothers that every time we see each other, we like, hey, we're gonna connect. And
Right.
we say that every time we see each other, we never connect.
The next week
We
happens.
love the thought of connecting, but we never actually connect. But it's a high time every time we come together, right?
Right. Anticipation of connection. So
Yeah,
Kadeem,
and
have
we
you
laugh
had
about it. Yeah.
yeah? Have you had some of those situations happen or relationships that kind of turn, like I said, treading water, or you really don't, even the different jobs or situationships you might have had as far as jobs or business deals and things of that nature had a connection. Then once those things are over, you find that the connection was more just about the work.
Oh yeah, man. I done had a lot of them, man. And
Yeah.
we always like when we connected, we always connected after work. We would do all kinds of social
Okay.
interactions and whatnot, but it was all on the premise that we had a recurring time that we was gonna see each other. I'm gonna see you next week at work. I'm gonna see you, you know what I'm saying? But once that period is over, or you done moved on, we might stay in touch for a little minute, but I'm not seeing you on a scheduled basis. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of like your life went one way, my life went another way. But I will say this: I do reach out. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I still reach out to those people that I connected with, but
Right.
I don't just harass them. You know what I'm saying? Like I called you, I left a message, I left you a text.
Right.
That's my whole thing. I leave your voicemail, I leave you a
Okay.
text. If you ain't called back from one of them, then I ain't calling you. It's
Well,
just
okay. Let me ask you this. I'm glad you went there. So, how many times will you try to connect before you leave it alone? Like, I mean, just like text me like, "Hey, what up, man?" And I'm just like, nothing. Then you call me.
a few. I would say
Okay.
that a maximum of max would be three. You
Right.
know what I'm
You
saying?
said
That's
three.
that's that's the limit. Would be three. If I go after three, then it's because somebody else told me that it was something that happened to your family, or somebody passed away, somebody injured, an accident, something like that, and I'm really trying to see about your well being. But if it's just I ain't heard nothing, and ain't nobody said nothing, it's gonna be about three times. One
I
time
got
if
you.
our relationship was already suspect, but
Right.
but if we was good, then about three times.
Right. Right. I got you. That makes sense. Like it's already kind of shaky. It's like, hey, I'm gonna try one time, maybe twice. I got you. I got you.
But spread them out though.
Yeah.
Don't try all in the same week. Yeah, I mean, spread them out about 90 days apart. That
Right.
gives you
Right.
some closure. You know what I'm saying? Like
I got
you
you.
ain't
So,
call, you ain't called me in a minute, and I didn't reached out to you almost over a whole year.
right.
We
Ooh.
I know this relationship is null and void.
Yeah. Yeah. And always.
What
Yeah.
if
I mean,
what if you're
I've
on the receiving end of someone saying, every time we talk it's because I've called you?
I've had that happen before too, and I'd
okay.
be like, "You right, man. Yeah, you sure right." Cause I got a buddy like that now. We used to work together at the plant over there in the Whitesburg, Georgia. And he called me. I guess he called me maybe every 6 months, and just
Okay.
we talk about the Lakers, we talk about sports, we talk about this, that, old coworkers, we talk about stuff like that. And every time, like you talking about, we gonna connect. Every time we get off the phone, I'm like, man, it's my turn next time. You always call me. I gotta hit you up. I gotta hit you up before you hit me up. Hey, but it's like we yesterday. You know, every time we talk, it's just like yesterday.
Yeah. And my question is that wrong on the
Hey, what's up, Mike?
the
Yes, sir.
receiving
Yes,
part?
sir.
Hey, Mike, how
Michael,
you doing,
Michael,
Michael?
Michael Gibson.
Michael. My bad. My bad.
Right, yeah. I'm starting a bad trim like Lease. So it's Michael because he said he
It's
don't want to call
Michael.
Mike, and I'm gonna
Yeah,
respect that. Said
absolutely.
Gerardo said, depending on the person and level of relationship, I'll call, text, email, and snail mail.
You write
Dang,
letters?
listen, I feel bad. I get a letter. I get a letter like, oh, my bad, Gerardo. Then
Wow.
Yeah,
after that, I'm out.
you don't respond to a handwritten letter. You just disrespect.
Stop, man.
Uh-oh.
Come on now, bro.
Uh-oh.
If anybody write me a letter, handwritten, not typed, ink and paper. If anybody write me a letter and I don't
I got to
respond,
say it, Pastor.
I'm a dirty low down dog.
Oh, if you don't respond, writing back.
Responding back.
Oh
No,
no. Okay, I responded. I
anything.
thought you was meant like if you don't write back. I was like, man,
Oh,
wait,
no,
the
I'm
devil is
talking
a
about
lie.
responding. Don't matter. I'm saying I want to call you immediately, especially if you got your contact information on there.
Right,
I
Yeah.
want to call you immediately.
No,
right.
no. I just want to make that clear because like Richard wrote me a letter and we talk like daily on here. And he was like wanting me to write him a letter back. And I'm like, I ain't writing you no letter back.
Come on now, Richard. Next thing you know, you're gonna be putting cologne and perfume in there. Come on
Hey,
now.
Uh-oh.
Come on, Richard.
Uh-oh.
Slow it down, brother. Slow it down.
All right. All right.
Richard, those are
All
not my
right.
views,
So,
brother. Those are
Those
the
are
all
views.
my
right. All
those
right.
are my jokes.
All right. Well, welcome back, everybody. You're watching the Brothers of Legacy. You know, appreciate you guys for rocking and hanging with us, and being a part of everything we do. We love the interaction and the comments. Make sure you are sharing. If you're in the YouTube space, make sure you're giving us a thumbs up, liking, and you're commenting, of course. Also, all right. So we're gonna try something.
Yes,
We're gonna
sir.
try something. All right, never been done on the
Name.
Brothers of Legacy. We're gonna open up the BOL hotline. A BOL hotline. In
Okay.
about 5 seconds, we're gonna put the link in the comments, so it'll show up on all of our spaces. You know, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. If someone's hanging out there, and you'll be able to connect with us. Our producer will let you on. Like I said again, stay on topic with shifting mindsets when it comes to relationships. Our brothers will try not to go down a rabbit hole with conversations, as well as oh yeah, and we want, listen, I need to see you. Can we get a face? You know, so try to get a decent background, you know, and do what you do.
You put all
we
these
wanna see your
stipulations
face.
out there. Ain't nobody calling.
I know, right?
Hey, you said we only got 30 seconds. I gotta have a good background. I need to see my face. And
All right, listen, I'll take
Make
off the
sure you
face,
hit the house
but we just need to hear you clearly. I got you, because the face, you're right. It's early in the morning for something. They probably in the bed going like this with the pillow. All right, so
right.
I don't need the face, but like I said, you know, just stay on topic, and we would greatly
Yeah, voice
appreciate you
only is
coming
good.
through, and we'll see how this goes down. So, like I said, today we're talking about how we've shifted our mindsets. The link is in, right? Yes, the link is in. It's pinned, comment pin. So yeah, come check us out. Go to that link or click on the link because it should be whatever. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, it'll come up. You just gotta click it and come through. All right. So like I said, today we're talking about how we've shifted our mindsets when it comes to relationships. And how we kind of approach them differently. Like I said, you know, how long do chase after somebody if they're not connecting. You must kind of spread that out after about a year. You got to pretty much call it gone. I don't think I've ever like disappeared. I want to say, hey, good morning,
Hey,
Corey.
Hey,
man.
Um,
ladies back.
so, I don't think I've ever really disappeared. If someone contacts me, I respond. I may not. I may be like Kadeem. All right, I'm be one to hit you back, and may not. But okay, that's cool. Um, so it's imperative. Like, so we're talking about development, right? So for myself, not disappearing, because I was like the disappearing king. I'd be like that, Kadeem. Someone would call, hey, what's up? With chat. Yeah, I'm gonna hit you back next time, and just never connect. Like I got to the place where I didn't really see the value of connection and relationships, and really fostering relationships, because it's essential. To me, like, I almost put it above money, because it matters a lot. You can get more sometimes out of a relationship than you can money. Relationships get you in spaces that you can't pay for. So I do appreciate the value of relationships. So as I've gotten older and developing brothers of legacy and all these connections, it's like working hard to try to maintain them. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we get busy, time gets spent, but trying to stay connected to like everyone. You know what I'm saying? Like, just how to maintain a network of people, at least to show that, hey, I still care. I'm still here. I'm available. And do you find yourself doing that, or do you kind of work more? He said, "I'll make sure he does." Right.
Wait. She makes sure what you find yourself doing that.
Hey, y'all ladies.
Which piece?
Oh, staying connected. Like,
But see,
hey,
that's
you
the
talking-
question. AD, let me ask you this, Kaneem.
Yes, let's
Yes,
go.
sir.
Let's go.
What is your definition of staying connected? Let me paint a picture for you. I just said
Let's paint.
you got somebody that's calling you, and they're like, man, every time we talk, it's because I called you,
Right.
right?
Right.
Well, that just means you missed me before I missed you. So you're going to hate me because it takes me longer? It doesn't mean I haven't thought about you.
Right.
It just means my thought hasn't driven me to reach out to you.
Right.
So how can I be at fault? Because when you call me, clearly there's nothing wrong. I'm happy to hear from you.
Right.
So how do you measure the ability or the inability to effectively stay connected? Because your timeline is not my timeline.
Right. Right.
What
So-
drives you doesn't drive me. I can have a thought about you, like, man, I hope AD doing all right today, man. Someone else says, let me check to see if AD's doing all right.
Right. Because I've
Right?
had that. Someone reached out. I'm like, man, I was just thinking about you. Right.
I had someone call me and say, I know you're good, but I just wanted to call and validate it. Woo!
Okay.
I was like, that's powerful. Let me make a note of that.
Yeah.
I hope that doesn't mean I'm supposed to call you in a week and say the same thing back to you, because if I don't be mad at me.
Right.
Seriously.
I agree.
I'm
with you.
Who controls the evaluation of thank you, lady. Who controls the evaluation? Who manages the evaluation? Who's the scorekeeper?
Right. I mean, I agree. Like, what makes good, what makes bad. I mean, for me, like, you said there are various ways to stay connected. Yes, indeed. Sam says, if I'm saying the lack of contact on your part makes me feel disconnected from you, isn't there some part of you that wants to remedy that?
Can I respond to that?
Sure.
My response to that is, I apologize that you feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to understand that it's never my intention that you feel disconnected.
Right.
I just haven't called, and I'll try to do better, right? And so what happens is the next time I call, oh, you called because I said something to you. It ain't even gonna feel genuine. It's not gonna feel authentic because it's gonna be reactionary.
Robert said it depends on the person. I have friends and fam who absolutely will not call, but everyone knows that. But a person who will call but won't, it said later. Okay.
Or you mean like a person who could call but won't?
Yeah, but won't. I mean, I don't know. Like I'm more, I guess, in the space that I'm in, right? My relationship as far as my output, right? I more or less judge on response. And what I mean by that is like, hey Kadeem, how's everything going? At least like, I'm good, Chief. He responded. You understand what I'm saying? Like, just I'm good. You know, like, but I'm not, I think I'm in a space now, like, because I've been on the other side of not connecting. I don't really trip out if Kaneem never calls me. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm
Because you know that if y'all have a conversation, if y'all contact each other, it's like we just talked yesterday.
And yeah, in essence, he said, Sam says, if I'm always reaching, please believe we will get to the point where I won't. Okay, I got you.
I got you. I understand. But does that mean we're no longer friends, or just mean we don't talk as often?
I think for me, it'd be like we don't talk as often. I try to, I got a couple of guys I kind of randomly reach out to just to check on them, see how they doing. I don't know. Like, I think for me, like, I don't want to burn a bridge, but the disconnect just will have to come from them than me. You know, like I'm putting more effort in. Doesn't right, exactly. Doesn't relationship
Depends on the type of relationship.
It can. I yeah.
The thing is, we can't debate personality differences here.
I don't
Clearly,
know. I think relationships do deserve some action. How you gonna have a relationship
but define
if you
action.
ain't got no action?
Define action, because if I don't call you, does that mean we don't have a relationship?
Well, you ain't putting no action. I mean, it depends. It depends. My whole thing is the relationship may be one sided. The person that's calling you thinks y'all got a relationship. That's why they calling you. But if you don't call them, that don't mean that.
No, because if you call and I make time, we have a relationship. If you call and I don't make time,
that's tolerable.
Nah, that's no, Kaneem.
I think it might be interpretation right now.
That's interpretation.
That's why. I mean, what you giving is your interpretation, correct?
No, no. This is why it can't be debated, because you saying if I don't call you, I'm not giving action that justifies a relationship. I'm saying if you call me and I respond and we communicate, that is action. It's positive reaction.
Yeah, but if I never would have called you, we wouldn't have a relationship because you never would have called me. That's what I'm saying.
No. Because how do you know? What you're saying is your timeline. What you're saying is I haven't met your timeline SLA. That's what you're saying. It took me too long. I didn't know I was on a timer.
Check it out, Brian. But you may never feel like you need to call. You may never feel that.
Pastor, you're saying for 5 years, 10 years, we've not talked. And then you
5 years, 10 years, and we ain't talked. That's a contact. That's not a relationship.
Then you just
that's why I said it depends on the type of relationship. What type of relationship are you talking about? Who sets who's evaluating, who puts the criteria out there for the type of relationship? And that helps you understand, because like when me and Kaneem when I met you, brother, I didn't say, hey man, we need to talk at least 3 times a month.
No, you didn't say that.
No. And I don't even remember the last time I called you. But I guarantee you, if I called you today after this call, we talk.
But we see or interact with each other
Right.
often, though.
But
Oh,
You know what
before
I'm
you
saying?
started coming on Brothers of Legacy, we wasn't interacting that much.
That's true. But when you had an
so
event, if you had an event, I tried to be there.
Right.
right.
If you
How
had an
often
event,
you had an event, I don't know. I can't say
you
that.
right. And if you
But,
had an event,
but
I
when
try to
you
be
had
there
an
too.
event,
But it did not require, but it wasn't like I ain't invite McCrory because he'll never call me. No, it's like let me think about the people that I know. You know what, McCrory? Hey man, you wanna even though we ain't talked, you wanna know why? Because the last time we talked, it was all love.
yeah,
That's what I'm saying. And it ain't because I called you, it's because we connected. And if you're doing something, you'd like to have me there. And that's the same thing for me. And what I'm trying to tell you is we have the type of relationship that does not require me checking in with you weekly.
All
If
right.
you were
So
not on Brothers of Legacy, we would still be friends. If I didn't see you until the next time somebody else, because we share connections, right? So
right.
if I don't talk to you, if I don't hear from you, and I see you at an event, we're gonna show each other love, even if we haven't talked. And you're gonna consider me a friend, even though I haven't called you, even though you haven't called me. You're gonna not just a friend, you're gonna consider me a brother.
that's
Because
true.
Yeah, but
what we
this
made clear when we met is that unless something go terribly wrong, we brothers. That's not
That,
just friends, that's brothers, right?
but that is
uh,
true. That is true. Our connections keep us connected.
right, the connections.
So
Right.
we always getting an opportunity to
Right.
have some action between us and fellowship.
Right.
We
Right.
talking about somebody who has not contacted each other in
Right.
6 months to a year or plus.
Right.
I'm
And
saying there is
that's
no,
a different level of relationship.
but that's what we say. We
Right.
say
When I said it earlier,
Define friend.
nobody wanted to support me.
Define friend. That's what I
no.
like. Define friend. How would you define friend? And listen, hold on. Before you define it, anybody waiting in the ring want to come in and put your point out there, either agreeing with Pastor or agreeing with Kaneem, or just in between saying both are right. Feel free to do
I
so. We
think
just
we
put the
said the
link
same
in
thing. I
the
just think his wordage is different than mine.
or someone who has a different opinion and said both of them are wrong. So,
Yeah, like is
come on in.
McCrory right or is Kaneem wrong? Why you got to say it like that, AD?
Oh, I like to start some trouble. A little
Trying to
bit of
make
trouble
people choose
helps the
sides.
show. That's the point. Hey, Gerald says, and you typically ask mutual connections, how you doing? Right.
Right.
Like, hey, how's McCory doing? How's that brother doing?
Yeah.
but like, what? How would you define friend? How would you define a friend?
I mean, I mean, because I've been knowing Brian longer than I've been knowing you, AD. I met
Right.
him like 7, 8, almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as far as I don't know how you define a friendship. It just takes it takes some action, it takes some effort. You know what
I
I'm
got you.
saying? You don't just get together and be like, "Hey, we friends." You know, it ain't
Not anymore.
because we,
Not anymore.
yeah,
Remember when we were young, you're
'cause
like,
we
hey,
sat down
you
and
my friend.
had, yeah. I mean, because we sat down and broke bread together, or we
Yeah.
was at an event
But show
together.
yourself
You know
friendly
what I'm
first.
saying? You gotta be it. Gotta be
Yeah.
it gotta be some investment. It gotta
I
be
got you.
some.
Yeah,
feel
because Judas broke bread.
I don't know who's your friend though, but we'll get into that later. Listen, all right, we got our first call in. Oh, coming to the stage. Hey, what's up, Chris? He said, friend, folks realizing intuitively everyone needs donuts.
Man, I wouldn't mind a donut too, Chris.
That's,
I wouldn't mind.
that's
I
me
want
and
to
you are
ship the
friends. All
donut. I
right,
don't want Chris to
we're
bring the
bringing
donut.
on Michael
I want a donut for shipping.
Gibson. What's up, Mike? Michael.
Hey,
Hey,
So,
hey, what's good, peoples?
what's going
all
on,
right,
brother?
man.
Well, I know we've had this, the constituents comrade conversation before,
Right.
but I don't really have many friends. I got tons of associates
Mm.
because most of my friends know Michael's not calling you. I'm not calling you. And if you want to talk to me, you better leave me a message because you're not that important in my life that I'm going to just run every time you call me. But if you need
Okay.
me, you my friend, right? So like, if you send me a message and be like, Michael, I need you to show up because of X Y Z. If you're my friend, Michael will be there, right? Because that's the type of relationships that I have with my friends. Because I don't need to call you every day, but I just text you, you good? They respond back, I'm good. That's all I need to know. Because I don't really
Okay.
have like long, long conversations every day.
But you reach out.
My best friend since middle school. I mean, I could go 2, 3 months without talking to that cat, but he might send me an article. Hey, did you see this dunk? Did you see it Instagram? I just like put a like on it, but I'm not talking to him on a regular basis because I don't really talk to him. Now, there's people that are not my friends that I talk to every week because I'm a football coach. I talk to every week because you go to church with me. I talk to every week because you in my neighborhood. But you're not my friend. You're my associate because I'm only having surface level conversations. So for me, I evaluate friendships on the depth of that conversation or the depths of that connection. So there's
Okay.
people like you, AD. I consider you a brother, and I don't talk to you on a regular basis, but because I watch you
Right.
and the maturity level that I see that you have and the depth and breadth of who you are, I consider you a brother. And I figured if
Okay.
I needed you without you even knowing me personally,
Right. Right.
that you would respond to me based on the type of connection. So for me,
Right.
when I evaluate friendship, I'm basing it off of those connections that I have and the depth and breadth of it. Because there's tons of people that I talk to on a regular basis at the football game that are not my friends. They're just my
But
associates.
kind of going back to like how Kaneem put it, with the action, putting action, to create relationships. Like you have a friend, a childhood friend, because you guys probably literally hung out with each other almost every day. You know, like, talked a whole lot.
Yes.
You know, when you were younger, you developed a huge foundation. To me, that's a little different. Like I have a lot of childhood friends, that can call me, and we won't talk for a while. And you meet up. Like it's funny, a picture came up. We came together in New York probably like 4 years ago. It was like it's like but we had the connection because we were childhood friends. You know those childhood times. Even the disturbing stuff that sticks, the great stuff sticks as well. Drawell says, I learned a long time ago that I value friendships more than others, especially when the person does something that I believe a friend wouldn't do. Okay, I now know where the person is. I got you. But you, like you said, you may not call, but you text. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
I'll text.
you
I
keep some
find
level of
that
connection.
well, there's a couple things for me. So from a faith perspective, if God lays somebody on my heart, regardless if I'm a friend, I'm gonna text you because I feel He laid you on my heart for a reason. I might just be
Right.
that okay that you need. Like, hey, you good? How you feeling? I was thinking about you. So I'm
Okay.
always that type of person, and it's not because you're my friend all the time. It's just because if you're on my heart for whatever reason, He didn't lay you on there by accident. So I might be that
Okay.
one text that you need. So I'm always randomly somebody came across my mind. Hey man, I'm just see how they doing because
Okay.
I know there was times when I was down and out that I got a text from somebody who was like, "Yo, you good?" It's like, "Oh man, that's
Right.
just what I
Right.
needed." So I try as a practice if someone comes
Okay.
across my mind, just to send them a quick text. I mean, because we don't really do voicemails anymore, like calling people.
Right.
But if you came across my mind and you were a friend, I would call you.
Okay. I got you. I got you. I hear what you're saying. All right, we're gonna let that marinate. Appreciate you being on, and hanging out with us. All right, we'll see you again, of course, always, man. I appreciate you. That's interesting. I know for you, Kadeem, it's the action. So, what's your opinion? Like, how do you feel about what Michael said?
Oh, I mean, he had some validations. I mean, that's his life. That's what his vision is. His view is how he said it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like I say, I mean, for me, I'm intentional about my friends. You know what I'm saying? Like how when we got together, uh,
Right.
the Walkers, the McNairs, the
Right.
Terrells,
Right.
the Pitchfords. I mean, everybody. You know what I'm saying? I want all of the men. I wanted to be intentional on, having a, some type of friendship,
Right.
and I want them to know, like, hey, I'm cool. I want y'all to be able to speak to me. I want to be able to speak to y'all freely
Right.
without any,
Right.
hangups. So when I think of a friend, I want it to be intentional. I don't want to be just because I called you or you tolerate me, and I'm glad this dude got off the phone. Ooh, I don't even know.
But see,
I don't
to
even
me,
know.
that's phony.
Right.
But
See,
I don't know what's on the other side of the phone. That's what I'm
I
saying.
know. That's what I'm saying. It ain't you, but I'm saying on the other side, it's phony.
Yeah, but I can't. I won't know it's phony until I give it some history. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I got it. But what I'm saying is I don't expect good to come from someone who's disingenuous. If you're on the phone with me and then you get off the phone, ooh, glad I got off the phone with that dude, man. Lord have mercy. I can't control that, but that says more about you than it does about me. Like
That's
McNair, right? But so my point to you is you're right. You don't know that. You have no idea. So if something ever happens, the reality is be honest. That's what I'm saying. Be real, be honest, be straight up. You know, um, I'm honest with people. I don't do a whole lot of like, and what's funny is I pastor a church. You're supposed to check on your people. Well, you know what? I check on people, but I'm gonna tell you what irritates me. What irritates me is pastoring people who don't want you to check on them because they feel like you being nosy.
Okay, so you do you get that response? Like someone
Have
says, "Stop
I?
checking on
Yes,
me."
I have.
Yeah.
And so my question is, why do you come to this church? Because if you don't want me checking on you, if you don't want me seeing how you doing, why would you call me pastor?
Right. Right. You
Right?
said it goes both ways, Pastor. Yeah.
What goes both
Wait.
ways, McNair?
Hey, go back to that Gerard comment. I was trying to read. I know it's. I know he said off topic. He said I'm mad at y'all. I'm trying to shave, but my razor need
um,
charging. Not your fault, but I gotta blame somebody.
hey,
Sorry. I
unfortunately,
know.
fellas, I got
Listen,
to go,
sometimes you need a
man.
topic break.
Hey, y'all have a good one. I got to get up out of here.
All right, bro. Be
I
blessed, man.
appreciate
Love
you,
you, man.
Kaneem.
All right.
Oh, threw everybody off. She just
Yeah.
threw everybody off the show. Oh, so
Real.
all right. So McNair, did he respond?
Yeah. Okay, I got you,
He
McNair.
said, he said, real friends don't take out restraining orders on you. Come on. I'm sorry. He said the congregants should check on Pastor too. Check on
Yes.
Pastor also. Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I figured he was saying.
Absolutely.
But listen, just a quick reset. We appreciate you guys for rocking with us, the Brothers of Legacy. We don't stand out, we stand up. Thank you guys for sharing. Thank you guys for commenting, being a part of all that we do. Okay. So today we are discussing how we've shifted our mindsets when it comes to relationships. Time has flown. I swear I just looked at the clock. It was like 30, 30 minutes in, but now it's not. So, but listen, like I said, the line is open. If anyone want to share any last questions or say something, we do appreciate all the comments and commentary. Like I said, I know my first call ran a little long. I just needed a little more depth. But feel free to come in, no pressure to stay. Just feel like if you need to say something or share something, just click the link. It should be pinned or at least in the comment section. You don't have to scroll a whole lot, either on Facebook or YouTube. I don't think it comes up on LinkedIn yet. But yeah, and join the conversation. Share what you're thinking. Sometimes you got a lot to share, but not a lot of time to type. Friends experience mutual expression. The actions, right, are reciprocated. Reciprocation. I think that is the key though. Like that to me, like that's friendship, reciprocation, and not necessarily like so me past to have a relationship, he give me $10,000. I'm supposed to reciprocate $10,000 back into his life. Like, but at least, you know, we have some level of relationship, you know, just kind of being there for each other, you know, as much as we possibly can, you know, when past his line, you know, I do what I can, but I won't do what I can't, you know, and just offering, you know, just open.
Somebody responded that, yeah, but the Bible says I can do all things through Christ.
Right. I'm gonna give you all my money. So it definitely, I think reciprocation is the real definition of friendship. Just the reciprocity and the giving to each other, whether you know it's time, you know, whether it's a listening ear, and being there as much as you can. All right. So we appreciate it. So, Pastor, you have any closing words before we get out of here?
Yeah, I think that friendships are really easy. You know, I have this mantra, you know, it's hard to be my enemy, you know, because I'm easy to be friends with. I believe that. And if someone wants to challenge me on that, then I would say challenge me on it. What makes it so difficult to be my friend? Sam is not included. She can't comment. Sam is my sister, and I know her. Right. She over there getting ready to go off somewhere, ready to type something in there, and I'm like, nope. I rebuke you, Samantha. Samantha is rebuked. Samantha Wilson Walker is rebuked, and I want everybody to say it with me. Samantha is rebuked. She can't respond.
Dallas. What's the question? Dallas? I'm thinking you're talking about the Cowboys.
Oh, that's the reason why you can't be my friend? That should make it. Dallas should make it easy to be my friend because we don't win nothing. You ain't got to worry about me. Oh, he easy to be friends with because they ain't gonna never make me mad.
Oh man. So we appreciate you guys for rocking and hanging with us and being a part of all that we do. Thank you for sharing. It seemed like we're growing a little bit, staying consistent in our numbers, getting a little bigger. And if you've not checked out the podcast, make sure you check out the podcast, The Brothers of Legacy, and stay connected. Text LW into 84576. Text LW into 84576. Never miss a broadcast. Oh, yeah. So my producer just made me let you remind you that call in Mondays only. Call in Mondays only. All right. So as always, we love you. Know that God loves you more. Continue to stay pre-rebuke. Wear that in the back. Wear that in the Bible. Right, Gerardo. So we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Same time, same channel. Know that we love you. God loves you more. Continue to stay safe. Wear the mask. You know how we do. And we look forward to seeing you tonight. Purposeful Forever. All right. So that's it. We're out. Peace out. As always, we love you. Know that God loves you more. Stay safe.